Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me for this prayerful pause with the pastor when we can think of something greater than ourselves, or maybe at least just take another look at ourselves and figure out how to connect with Spirit a little better. I read something on Ash Wednesday. When was that? Geez, like 10 days ago, maybe, week and a half ago. It was written by a UCC pastor whose name is Kenneth Samuel. He is pastor of Victory for the World Church in Stone Mountain, Georgia. He was quoting Isaiah 58, which I also used on Ash Wednesday. You humble yourselves by going through the motions of penance and cover yourselves with ashes. Is that what you call fasting? No, this is the kind of fasting I want. Let the oppressed go free and remove the chains that bind people. And so it's based on that he writes the following. Many Americans take great pride in our national symbols. We pledge allegiance to our flag, we stand for the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner, we salute our military personnel, and we honor our military veterans. Our 4th of July Independence celebration is always one of the most festive and spectacular events of the year. I'm going to refrain from commenting on that right now. Keep going. Christians are pretty big on symbols as well. We hold the cross of Calvary in sacred esteem. We worship in churches and cathedrals that invite our eyes to look vertically toward the celestial majesty of God. And today, many Christians will mark the holy day with ashes on their foreheads, remembering that we are dust in need of redemption. I'll refrain from commenting on that as well. Symbols are wondrously inspiring, but symbols are essentially empty if they don't point to an actual substance of action. And that part I agree with 100%. You can say, what don't you agree with in the other things, Deb? Well, I think the 4th of July Independence Day celebration is not lifted up by many people because they weren't included. And I'm thinking here of our brothers and sisters of color, for whom Juneteenth is much more of an Independence Day celebration. And I think about where he says we worship in churches and cathedrals. Some do. We don't. We happen to worship in the community and wherever people are gathered. And I think he's right. Those places do invite our eyes to look vertically toward the celestial majesty of God. And not being in those places, we tend to look horizontally to the incarnation of Jesus, of the Christ. But he's right about symbols being wondrously inspiring and yet being essentially empty if they don't point to an actual substance of action. He titled this Ashes to Action. And he goes on to say that our ashes from Ash Wednesday remain nothing more than ashes without a commitment. And he's talking about a commitment to repent. I would say without a commitment to action. We need to be using this time, and you've heard me say this before, not to give up, but to take up. Take up action. Take up an action of some sort, letter writing, being in touch with your representatives, reading up some in-depth study of something that bothers you so you have more information at your fingertips. Allowing yourself to become absorbed with the injustices, reading, studying about things like white privilege, white supremacy in this country, foreign occupations like what we're seeing in Russia. Why does Putin seem to want to get Odessa and Kyiv more than other places? Because they were the high points of the USSR. They were gems in the crown the USSR, and he wants to reactivate that. Unless you know that, his actions don't make a lot of sense. Unless you know that he is driven by that. We need to be learning. We need to be studying. We need to be putting our ashes to action, so that these things that we do hold dear, that are our national symbols, so that they have meaning. I don't, and our church symbols. I don't personally see the cross on Good Friday as a destination point. I see it as a portal that I walk through to get to the resurrection. I don't see it as something that I drag along, and we all have our own crucifixions at one time or another in our lives, but I see that far less frequently than I do see it as a means to getting to the new life, to the resurrection. So, what are you putting your ashes to action regarding? How are you giving life to the ashes? What is the phoenix or the firebird that is going to rise from the ashes that you put on your forehead or your hands or wherever you did? What is it that's rising to life as a result of that commitment, as a result of this Lenten season? Those are the questions for this weekend. This in real time. This is a Friday. So I'm going to say that we would love to have your support, financial, prayer, intention, sharing us with others, however you choose. We always ask for your support on Friday. We want it every day, but I limit the ask to just Friday. But that means you have a couple days ahead of you between now and the next prayerful pause. Think about it. How are you putting your ashes into action? Should be a good weekend. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me for this prayerful pause of the pastor, and I'm Pastor Deb Swift of South Presbyterian Church in Rochester, New York. I look forward to seeing you next time and to having you write to me. You can get in touch with me through the website on the end of this video. I'd love to hear from you, and I would love to hear how you're putting your ashes to action. All right. Until next time, God bless. Take care, and bye for now.